8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Danushka Madhwala and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. Nitrogen liquid fertilizer will arrive in Sri Lanka tomorrow. The final rites of the Sri Lanka first test cricket captain Bandula Warnapura will be held at the Borella Cemetery at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Health authorities request the public to not travel violating travel restrictions and ignoring health guidelines. The program to vaccinate school children is successfully continuing. The prison authorities have decided to prohibit inmates to use hand sanitizer. Vehicular traffic to the Kohuwala Junction will be limited from the 21st of this month. In foreign news, former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell dies of COVID complications. And in sports news, Sri Lanka chose to field in the first match in ICC T20 World Cup. On to the main stories. 100,000 litres of nitrogen liquid fertilizer imported from India will arrive in Sri Lanka tomorrow. More than 3 million litres have been ordered up to now. Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Professor Udita K. Jayasinghe says that the government will only import scientifically proven and tested fertilizers to the country. The final rites of Sri Lanka's first test captain Bandula Warnapura will be held at the Borella Cemetery at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. He passed away while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo. Bandula Warnapura was 68 at the time of his demise. He has undergone surgery on his leg earlier this week. Bandula Warnapura had played 4 test matches and 12 one-day internationals during his international cricketing career from 1975 to 1982. He was a right-handed opening batsman and a right-handed medium-pace bowler. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, issuing a condolence message, says that he is deeply saddened by the demise of the Sri Lankan Test cricket captain Bandula Warnapura. The President has paid his deepest condolences to his loved ones. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said in his message, "May Mr. Warnapura's contribution to cricket be forever remembered by fans around the world." Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that it is a great loss to Sri Lankan cricket with the demise of Mr. Bandula Warnapura. He served as a head coach of Sri Lankan cricket and as an administrative officer as well. The Prime Minister, in his condolence message, says that he felt very sad after hearing the news of the loss of Mr. Warnapura. The Ministry of Health says that the program to vaccinate school children is successfully continuing. Vaccination of children in the ages of 18 and 19 is taking place at schools. Our reporters said that a date and time have been given to students to minimize overcrowding. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. The Government Information Department said 23 COVID-19 deaths were reported to have occurred yesterday. 10 males and 13 females were among the victims. A male and a female were identified between 30 and 59 years of age, while 9 males and 12 females were 60 years and above. Accordingly, Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll increased to 13,507. 467 individuals tested positive for COVID-19 thus far. Accordingly, Sri Lanka's coronavirus caseload increased to 532,115. The prison authorities have decided to prohibit inmates from using hand sanitizer. Instead of hand sanitizer, the inmates will be provided with soap to wash their hands. Prison Commissioner and spokesperson Chandana Ekanayake said that the decision had been taken following the deaths of 2 Iranian nationals who were imprisoned in Sri Lanka after consuming sanitizing liquid last week. All vehicular traffic to the Kohola Junction along the 120 bus route will be limited for 2 months from the 21st of this month. Public transportation buses will only be allowed to pass through the Kohola Junction during that period due to the construction work of the Kohola flyover. Drivers are requested to use alternate routes until the 20th of December. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The health authorities have requested the public to not travel violating travel restrictions and ignoring health guidelines. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena said that it is a high risk for the public to travel when there are restrictions. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 500 to 600 corona patients are still being reported daily in the country. Therefore, he emphasized that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public act irresponsibly. That was the main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight.
Sri Lanka's pioneering startup acceleration program, Venture Engine, will soon wrap up its submissions phase, with applications set to close on the 22nd of October. Venture Engine program is also open to entrepreneurs opting to submit new, early-stage business ideas with huge potential markets. Visit www.ventureengine.lk to learn more about the application process. That came to you in Watchlight. World News is up next.
World News.
The headlines. Former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell dies of COVID complications. China denies testing nuclear-capable hypersonic missile. UN plans nationwide polio vaccine campaign in Afghanistan. Tributes are being paid to former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell, who has died of COVID-19 complication, aged 84. The former top military officer died on Monday morning, his family said. He rose to become the first African-American Secretary of State in 2001 under Republican President George W. Bush. Powell, who was fully vaccinated, later prompted controversy for his role in garnering support for the Iraq War. Mr. Powell, a moderate Republican who broke with his party to endorse Barack Obama in 2008, became a trusted military advisor to a number of leading U.S. politicians. He also saw service and was wounded in Vietnam, an experience that later helped define his own military and political strategies. However, he would say himself that his own legacy has been damaged by a speech to the United Nations Security Council which used faulty intelligence to back the invasion of Iraq. China has denied reports that it tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile earlier this year, insisting instead that it was a routine spacecraft check. The initial report in the Financial Times newspaper prompted concerns in Washington, where U.S. intelligence was reportedly caught by surprise. Hypersonic missiles are much faster and more agile than normal ones, meaning they are more difficult to intercept. It comes as concern grows around China's nuclear capabilities. On Monday, Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lianjing told a media briefing that a routine test had been carried out in July to verify different types of reusable spacecraft technology. The UN has announced a nationwide polio immunization campaign in Afghanistan for the first time in many years. Children's agency UNICEF said they had the full support of the Taliban for the project, due to begin in early November. The Taliban will also allow female staff on the campaign and provide security to the teams, the agency said. In the past, the militant group have opposed vaccination, falsely claiming it was a Western conspiracy to sterilize Muslims. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell dies of COVID complications. China denies testing nuclear-capable hypersonic missile. UN plans nationwide polio vaccine campaign in Afghanistan. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is next.
And now in development news.
The Bank of Ceylon has been appointed as a settlement bank by Lanka Clear for their interbank US dollar online payment system and the US dollar draft online image transfer system. This selection was made through a competitive bidding process. The agreement was signed on the 12th of October 2021 at the bank's head office by the two parties. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
Sports news.
The first qualifying round match in the T20 World Cup between Sri Lanka and Namibia is now being played in Abu Dhabi. Sri Lanka won the toss and chose to field. At the end of 13.2 overs, Namibia scored 73 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka team has decided to wear black armbands today to express their condolence over the passing away of former Sri Lanka Test captain Bandula Warnapura. That was sports news. Business news follows.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Facebook is planning to hire 10,000 people in the European Union to develop a so-called metaverse. A metaverse is an online world where people can game, work and communicate in a virtual environment, often using VR headsets. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been a leading voice on the concept. The announcement comes as Facebook deals with the fallout of a damaging scandal and faces increased calls for regulation to curb its influence. That was business news. Economic news is next.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sampath Bank stepped up its efforts to emphasize and encourage the habit of saving among Sri Lankans with the rollout of a host of rewards and benefits through its annual Thrift Month Savings Promotion Drive. Going beyond regular gifts and incentives, Sampath Bank is offering face shields as a part of the campaign's rewards to deliver greater protection to its customers during the current global COVID-19 pandemic by promoting the habit of saving. That was a look at economic news. Finally, the weather report.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the northern, north-central, eastern, central, over and the northwestern provinces during the evening or at night. Several spells of showers will occur in the western province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Heavy showers, about 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the northern, north-central and eastern provinces. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, the headlines again.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
To end tonight's news broadcast, the headlines again. Nitrogen liquid fertilizer will arrive in Sri Lanka tomorrow. The final rites of Sri Lanka's Test Captain Bandula Warnapura will be held at the Borella Cemetery at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Health authorities request the public to not travel violating travel restrictions and ignoring health guidelines. The program to vaccinate school children is successfully continuing. The prison authorities have decided to prohibit inmates to use hand sanitizer. Vehicular traffic to the Kohovala Junction will be limited from the 21st of this month. In foreign news, former US Secretary of State Colin Powell dies of COVID complications. In sports news, Sri Lanka chose to field in their first match in ICC T20 World Cup. That ends tonight's news broadcast.